everybody. This is Kathleen with Wink Chaos, and I'm coming to you today with a couple of new releases. I'm going to break them up into two videos. It is New Year's Eve 2026, and I'm excited to be in my new planner. I hope you're excited to be in your new planner. I think it's one of the hardest decisions we make is what are we going to use for a planner in the next year. I am still using Planning to Prosper's Create Planner. I really like it, but I've played with a couple this year that I really liked. Oh my goodness. Digital Planning Collective has a really great one called Unfazed. Um, I probably, I don't know, at some point I might switch back and forth between the two. Um, She's got some really cute rings planners too this year, so I may snag one of those at one point because she's got these darling pockets that go with it. So to say that I'm set on one planner is probably not true. But anyhow, let's jump into this little kit. It's a little set. So this is a pinwheel set, which means that it's kind of an a la carte option. So it's offered with the clip art and it's offered with the patterns, and you can buy them separately because not everybody loves the patterns or uses them. And so this is my attempt to help not make as much digital clutter as sometimes we get when we're buy a big kit for just a few little items. So it comes at a great little low price point, and I do have new pricing that comes out starting tomorrow, which is actually probably when you'll see this kit come out as well. Um, so it still makes it a great bargain, even though pricing has gone up. Um, and mostly that's just because I have spent a lot of time doing market research. I know that I have priced myself at the very bottom of the market, which is not always the best strategy, even to be seen. You can absolutely hurt yourself in in the algorithm. So I'm going to price things a little different, but I'm also going to put things on sale a little differently and more often. So look for 2026 to be a little bit different than it's been, but 2025 was awesome. It really was a year of research for me. I feel like I've gotten my kit sizes down. I feel like I've gotten my formatting and honestly my style more cemented. So I hope that you'll enjoy it and spread the word. I don't like being the best kept little secret on Etsy, so I would like to be a little well known. So yeah, please tag the shop when you share and post. That would be fabulous. And join us over on Facebook. We have a very small group. It's not very active right yet. I think everybody's a little bit shy to put their things out there, but oh, please do. It's so much fun. Um, so anyhow, back to my little list here. What a pinwheel is like I said, it's an a la carte option in the shop for clip art and patterns, and everything comes in three file formats. You get the Good Notes file, which usually is what most of us have started out with as far as our digital planning on the iPad. Oh, and here comes my kitty cat, Max. I'm going to pause this for a second and see if I can't get him to go someplace else. Alrighty, I'm back. That was my kitty cat, Max. He decided to get me up at 5:15 this morning, so I thought, okay, early morning, I'm going to get things done before I have some social engagements later. And usually he wakes up, has me come and stand next to him while he eats for a few minutes. I go back to bed. 15 minutes later, he wants outside. But today he's been upset because we woke up to like a half an inch of snow. But it's not nice outside. So anyway, he's outside now, so he shouldn't bother us any longer. Okay, so that's what these formats are. We have Good Notes, which most of us on the iPad start out using. It's still a really great program. But a lot of folks have switched over to Noteful because it has some really good features like layers and it's very easy to set the opacity of something, and things like that. And then there's Zoom Notes, which is what I use and what you see here on my iPad. Um, to me, Noteful is like if GoodNotes and Zoom Notes had a baby. It just has a ton of features, and it just gives me absolutely the most creative control. And since I work in graphic design all the time, um, I want those features, but not everybody does. And there is a bit of a learning curve to it. And really hoping in 2026 to do more tutorials and help people get more and more comfortable with Zoom Notes because I honestly do believe it is the best app for digital planning. And then you also get a folder that is just the PNG files. And so if you're not on an Apple device, Apple tablet, then you're going to be able to use these in your Android tablet. You can use them with Penly, or if you're using your your iPad for a different device or a different application. Uh, like there's Note Shelf and there's just a bunch of different ones out there. So the PNG files, the nice part about them, you only have to bring in what you want to use. If there's just a bunch of stuff there that you don't like, then you don't have to use your application space here to, use up all your memory on things that you're just never going to use. Alrighty, enough of that spiel. Let's jump into the actual clip art. I'm going to zoom in. I am filming this a little different. I moved my office this week, and I am trying to have a good filming setup so that when I do some tutorials, you can see where my Apple Pencil is. So let me know if you like this, if I'm easy to hear. I filmed this twice yesterday with my microphone not working correctly. So, here we go for the third time. Okay, so this darling kit has this cute bakery window, an apron, a bundt cake, and a little tower of cuteness in the cupcakes. We've got sugar, flour, a copper cookie cutter, heart-shaped cinnamon roll, a bowl of berries, and a jar of honey. And then we've got cute little heart-shaped sugar cookies, and we've got eggs, more little cupcakes. This little heart here is all coffee beans, which I think is really fun for the coffee lovers. I'm not a coffee lover, but that's okay. Then we've got a chocolate bar, and then we've got a heart-shaped cutting board with fruits on it, and a cookbook, and a little jar of cocoa. Okay, let me flip over here. And then with on this page, we get more into like this Fair Isle type pattern that I really, really enjoyed putting together. So we've got this uh, latte with the pretty heart foam, and then we've got macaroons, Prime Minister of France. And this is a pile of them all together. And we've got like the pink Himalayan sea salt, and then this is a little group, and these are separate. So there you go. And we've got these cute little heart measuring cups, and we've got a spatula, rolling pin, cinnamon, and star anise. These are all together. This cute little stove, oven mitts, a little tea towel. I love kind of playing with tea towels. Like if I can find a little soft surface, a little bar or something to hang them on. Here's something cool I'll show you in Zoom Notes that I don't know that if any other app can do. So I can hang that there and it looks okay. But if I'm on select, which is this one here, and I go up to my thing, I can go to distort. That's under transform. Oops, come on now. Distort selected. And I've got these green nodules now, so I can bring this down so it's actually hanging. See how it looks perpendicular now? Is that cool or what? Because the stove isn't straight on. But yeah, I fixed it. So, okay, I'm going to hit undo on that because I don't want to look like I need to undo it again. Undo. There we go. But yeah, that's one of the cool little things you can do. So it's straight here, like straight on if you had, just a straight bar, it would look fine. But because that's at an angle, using the distort just gives you, and it's really fun to use like if you have a pillow and a couch and you're trying to make it kind of tucked into the corner of a couch and it's not looking quite right. So anyhow, okay, that's your little Zoom Notes tip on this video. And then we've got these cute wooden spoons and this whisk with the ferrule um, motif on the handle. This cute little shelf. I'll show you in the mock-up how I use this. I love it. And then we've got the teapot, the strawberry shortcake in this beautiful window. And this, oh, I love this stack of bowls. Is that not cute? I would love like a whole set of dishes that looks just like this. All right. And then we've got a glass mug with a tea and a cinnamon stick in it. And then we've got some recipe cards that are so fun. These are actual recipes. Now, when it comes to brownies, I'm kind of a brownie mix gal, but I did look up a recipe that had really great reviews, and this was one of them. And I've got it's not linked, but there's the address. And then this one I have used. This is a gal that I watch do amazing cookie decorating. Anyway, so they're real recipes. You really can use them, and they look really cute in the spreads. And then you've got them as blanks as well, so that you could type in your own recipes if you like. They're really cute in your meal planner. And you also get the the palette for the kit. And this palette really, and the style really works beautifully with that cozy cabin Valentine kit that I just released a couple weeks ago. And you also have a link here at the bottom, and that takes you to the Windy Chaos Library, where you'll have lots of different things that you can use, like days of the week and numbers and icons, planner words, little time bits, just lots of little things. Also, like I used to have a shop named Popcorn Planning. There's some kits there. They are not the same as these kits. So um, they were kind of almost like a bridge for me from my paper planning time over to digital, where I tried to kind of repurpose some of my paper planning designs and kits in a way that I could sell them digitally and still not feel like I was unethically selling somebody else's clip art. So all the clip art that you see now, I've created. So anyhow, that is the Windy Chaos Library. Let's go back to Zoom Notes. Now, this set has a companion set, which is the patterns. And let's take a look at those. We've got this really pretty, like symmetrical heart. It looks so good as a wallpaper, you know. And then we've got this really cute flower shelf, baking shelf, and then these darling sprinkles. And then we've got a couple of polka dots in this kit. So this one is a polka dot with the cherry pie slices, cupcakes, and cookies, and it's got lots of little cherry motif in it. Then this one's got like the recipe cards. I got a little chocolate tart, chocolate chip cookies, and some cupcakes as well. Then we've got the plaid. And then this one totally reminds me of my 80s sweater that I loved. It has the hearts, but it has kind of that Fair Isle feel to it again. And then this is a bigger polka dot with more of a watercolor feel to it with the cookies and the cupcakes and the cherry pie slices. And then this one's just a really cute confetti sprinkle. So, and then you get those same 9 patterns with no background and no color to them, and you can use these as textures. So I love using textures so that you can see how they've got no background. And you can take the opacity down if you're using Noteful or Zoom Notes really easily. So it doesn't compete with your overall design, but it does give this nice little graphic punch in the background. So they're lovely. Now, some of these don't look as good just as a tile, and you might be thinking, well, how do I make it look great? You can just do this where you're duplicating or cut and paste, depending on what you're using. I love using the duplicate, and you can line things up, but it's really tedious to do it that way. You get these little white lines. But if you were to do it this way and you're doing this in Zoom Notes, you can go on your select, go to your sliders, come down here to transform, and you can nudge things over with these arrows. Oh, these are just like my sanity saver. So there you see how it's all lined up. There's no white line there, but you're dealing with 2 tiles. And then, so is this the right size? You could group them to group, and then you're able to, size it how you want. But my easiest recommendation is to take draw whatever you're trying to fill, whatever space you're trying to fill, um, draw that shape, and then under the shape, go to the slider, go to image, image, and then from the pasteboard. Now I had copied that, so I had that image in the pasteboard, and then tile. And then you get that seamless. It's all one size. You can then do select, make it a size. So that to me is the easiest. And it's how I prove to myself that something is seamless. So, and then if I wanted to, I could go back to shape, sliders, image. All I have to do is take another image. Oops. I can do copy, shape, image from pasteboard, and there it is. Again. And you can play with the opacity here. You can play with the scale a little bit. There, I made it vertical instead of, but anyway, there's lots of ways to play with this, and I've showed them a couple times before in different videos, but this is honestly the tool and the method that I use over and over and over again. And to me, totally worth the learning curve in Zoom Notes to be able to do that so effortlessly. Okay, let's see how this looks in some mock-ups. So here we go. We're in the rings mock-up. You can see I used that cute little heart again, that I just took down the opacity. I wanted the color, but you could definitely do that. Same one with just the texture instead of the colored pattern. And then we've got, I did the little window in the corner. I did the plaid. And then I filled this little area here, again, taking down the opacity. But it's just a cute little spread. And it's just really sweet. You can see how this would work for a Valentine's spread. Um, but also, I think it looks very springtime too. And then we've got the portrait, which I think is darling. Now, I use daily spreads just for like my top three. I don't do a ton of tracking on them or um, I don't know. They're just very uncluttered for me. And because I keep it just super simple with my top three things that I need to do, um, I I get to just have fun and be creative and make a cute scene. So depending on what your planning style is, you know, depends on how many planner bits you need. So with these kits, these sets, they don't come with a lot, they don't come with labels and all the other planner shapes that a lot of other kits come with. So I just draw out little shapes. And sometimes they're round, sometimes they're, you know, you can kind of do any of these. I'm almost always just doing a rectangle, but I can change the corners here and make it a rounded corner, or I can take off two of the corners and make it a kind of, uh, there we go, like that. So even though you don't have planner bits, you still have lots of options to make it cute. And then, of course, I've played with the opacity as well on this. It's just at 50%, but I can bump it up, fill it in, make it bolder. So don't feel like just because you didn't have labels, you don't have a way to make it work. You totally can. Um, because like the whole text part is really great, and you can make really easy lists, even with little check boxes. Super simple in this in Zoom Notes to have a really nice planner spread with very little effort, honestly. So there you go. And then let's just jump over to the landscape and show you that one. I didn't do a background on this one. So, and again, I just do my top three. But how cute is that? It's darling. And then this was that shelf. Sorry. This was the shelf, and I just tucked it behind. That is the beauty of being able to arrange things, tuck them behind things. Super cute. I didn't have to crop it. It was just easy. All right, guys. This one is Baking is My Love Language, and it is available in the shop now. And it comes in two parts, so you can get the patterns, or you can get the clip art, or you can, of course, buy both. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.